It is currently 3:30 and I am drinking a cold brew. I just got it all over my face. That's just the day that it's been. But doesn't mean that I can't do plant chores. So welcome to another episode where we get plant chores done together. Hi, hello, I'm Marina, that one girl that likes to talk a lot about houseplants, and welcome to Millennial Planter. All over the place this weekend. I'm dealing with 2 sick kids, which is really unfortunate. One of the sick ones is my little baby, my little 3-year-old. So it's always pitiful when your kids are sick, but like extra pitiful when they're like your little baby. It's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of neglect going on, which is fine. It happens. I talk about my plant neglect all the time. And we've also officially turned the heat on in my house. It's been dropping really low at night here. The temperatures, it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like it happened way faster than it's happened in ever, maybe in a while. And usually we're in like a false fall type of thing, but now we're just like in full fall. So it's like high 30s, low 40s at night. Yeah, so it's been really cold here. We've had to turn the heat on, and every time we have to turn the heat on, you gotta water your plants more because everything is drying out. People say that you have to water your plants less in the wintertime because they're drying out slower, and that can be the case. But if you're running central heating, you're probably gonna have to be watering your plants more, which is always the case for me. And I'm also probably dealing with a spider mite outbreak, at least on my lower plant shelf here. So I'm going to order some Azamax because I heard that's really effective. To be honest, y'all, I haven't had a really bad spider mite outbreak. I had that one alocasia stingray that always had spider mites, so I got rid of it, and I haven't really dealt with them. So now I'm kind of stressing about it because thrips are no problem. Me and thrips, we're best friends. Me and spider mites though, like, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna order Azamax. Hopefully that gets rid of everything. Share your favorite spider mite method down below so I can get rid of them. Maybe this is my time to finally order some predatory mites, but I don't want to. Anyways, I'm gonna start doing some chores. I'm also gonna share some updates. So this is gonna be like a plant update video because I do have a lot of exciting updates to share. One of them actually, okay, I have to share this plant because I am so excited, but then also I might jinx it at the same time. So we all know my philodendron, my anthurium, luxurians cross radicans cross luxurians has seen better days. We have been on the struggle bus since I got her last year. She was always killing off her new leaves, and I'm pretty sure it was because she was severely underwatered. Not severely. I just was not giving her enough water that she wants. Apparently she wants way more water than what I was giving her. So her new leaves would just crisp up and die, and it was really frustrating. But now that I understand her watering needs, check this out. We have 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 new growth points. And so I'm like, are we actually going to hold on to these growth points, or are we going, oh, she actually has 4. She has a little tiny stuck leaf right there. But are we gonna hold on to all of these? I'm really nervous. She might need a sacrifice, a plant sacrifice, in order to survive. And maybe I need to make her own little mantle. And no, I'm just joking. But I'm really nervous because I don't want to be excited. I want to see a new leaf. I'm afraid to be excited because I feel like if I get too excited to finally see a new leaf, it's going to all die off. But that's pretty exciting. I will keep you all updated on the progress. You can follow me on Instagram as well because I'll probably post a picture whenever one of these leaves decide to develop. They kind of remind me of like a Shangri-La, that sort of like leaf lettuce texture. It's so funny. I'm kind of debating if I should water her now. No, she still feels pretty moist. I'm trying to find that medium of not overwatering her and not underwatering her because clearly I feel like this plant is like as thirsty as my queen anthurium, which is actually going to be my next update because me and my queen, we go through it. First off, I am slowly bringing out my plants inside from outside. I still have about 4 more plants out there, and I did record a video sharing all those updates, but my plant room is so full right now. I have no room. I need to downsize, which, God, y'all, I thought it was a good idea to count my plants just because I was really curious as to what my number is. And in this room alone, I have almost 190 plants, which is it's a bit excessive, Marina. So over the course of the next few months, I'm going to be downsizing, trying to downsize. I don't know how that's going to happen because I would say a vast majority of my plants, like 95% of them, I really truly love. So maybe we'll just deal with that 5% and I will feel a little bit better and a little less underwhelmed. And also exciting news, I have another light coming, an actual light and not a garage light. So hopefully we can start getting better leaves in my little area over here. But look at this, y'all, my queen. So she came out with her new leaf. This was the first leaf she put out really quickly. Usually she gives me a new leaf like every 6 months, but this leaf she put out and I ripped, and then she put out this leaf probably like 2 months later, which is insane. But look at that. What is going on here? She wasn't even up against the stem enough for her to start curling like that. But what I think it is she was actually on this shelf here, like this, just like that. And as you can see, the way that she's growing, she's literally turning away from the light. And the same thing happened with this leaf where it was coming in all crinkled and just doing the weirdest things. And I think she was getting too much light. Like, this is apparent. This is clear as day, her turning away from the light, because I think this light is just too bright for her. So I did move her down here on the second shelf, and I feel like it's too late. The damage is already done. She's going to look like this. I don't want to touch her too much because I always rip those leaves, but she's just gonna look like that. And we're gonna have 2 very wrinkled, tattered leaves, but hopefully that was the case because she's getting a lot of humidity. I have upped her watering a lot, and this is the only thing I could think of. When she was downstairs in my room, she got very indirect dapple light from the my shaded windows, shaded by a tree, and these leaves never did this. They never came in wrinkled. All they did was crisp up at the edges, at the very tip, and that was from low humidity and improper watering. Now that she's in the plant room, all the other needs are being met but the bright light. So maybe with the new leaf, the third leaf, it will come out better. I really hope so. I really think that was the key. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'm so sad though. I was really hoping to get a beautiful leaf because other than that, like, this leaf is flawless. It's actually really annoying, but it's okay. But in other news, check out how massive this philodendron verrucosum leaf is. And that is sphagnum moss, by the way. I'm trying to clean it off, but it doesn't want to come off. Maybe it's cosmetic damage, whatever, but it is beautiful. And look at that veining. Oh, it's amazing. My other verrucosum, I moved over here, and she's doing really well too, but that is this leaf here. And she did start killing off her bottom leaves one by one. I'm not sure why. I know verrucosums do that naturally, but the other verrucosum hasn't done that. So I moved her here. Maybe she's gonna get more light, and enough light will give her enough energy to keep all of her bottom leaves. But she's doing really well. I'm trying to see if that's spider mite damage or edema, but I don't see any spider mites. Maybe you guys do. Let me know if you do. But I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't really see any. So maybe it's just some edema, which also, another update, I finally got a little fan. This fan was $8 at Target, and it is just really great. I mainly got it for this area because velvety leaves like to get messed up when they're wet for a long time, when I'm like wetting the moss poles, and with the temperatures dropping, I don't want to deal with any bacterial infections, especially when it comes to orbifolia. Orbifolia is prone to bacterial infections, and it was about time I added some airflow to this plant room, so that's been going really well. I mainly put it on when I water, so if I water an area, I will just leave the fan running on that specific area. Oh, and then also, y'all, my Calistophylla is growing. She is popping off, and she has a peduncle. Where is it? Right there. Look at that. She hasn't grown for me in forever. In probably over a year and a half, maybe she hasn't grown for me. She's only been this one vine there. I've gotten 2 blooms from her. It's always from that one peduncle, but recently she put off that tendril and it has leaves and it's still growing. So that is really exciting. Also, my Hoyas are starting to grow. So like I suspected, they just wanted the cooler temperatures because it was just slightly too hot, maybe. That's what I'm assuming, because like Lacanosa is finally growing. She has 2 opened blooms and one that's about to open, and it smells so good in the plant room. Ilgorium, look at those new leaves. This Ilgorium gives me like Anthurium vibes, the way they change colors like that. Like no other Hoyas really do that. Crassopetiolata is doing amazing. Look at how massive these leaves are. Oh, I love this Hoya so much. It is so underrated and it is so easygoing. Also, Vitellinoides has some new leaves. So everybody's doing really well and I'm really excited. Even my Compacta. Look at that growth. Look at it. Oh my God, it's so exciting. So lots of things happening, lots of exciting things happening in the plant room. Now, I guess for the plant chores part, I definitely need to check on my propagations that I took, I don't even know, like 2 or 3 videos ago. It's been, I haven't checked on them since I made that video, and I know that they're probably dry at this point. Look at this little heart leaf, philodendron. Oh, that new leaf is so cute. This is the other thing, my shelves are so, packed that when I have to get something that's like further back, I have to move everything in order to get it, so I'm not knocking everything down when I take it out. It's a little ridiculous. Oh, and I see so many thirsty plants. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You can still see condensation. Well, maybe not so much on the camera, but I can still see condensation build up on this, so that's good. Oh, they look really good. That fresh smell of cocoa quarter. Okay, so we could see one really chunky, hairy root right there. That's really cool. And then all of my strings in Hoya rotundiflora. Oh, I forgot I cut that one. Everybody looks really great. Nothing's rotting, nothing's drying up. Honestly, the soil probably will need to be watered in a few more days. I think what I'm gonna do is, the soil is on the dry side, but it's still a little bit damp. But I think since I'm already here, I'm going to lightly water them, not fully saturate them, and then just leave the bin open when I put it back on the shelf, and then cover it in a few days, just so they're not drying out and dying off, which you don't want when you have propagations. Right, here is bin number 2. Whoa, look at that. This is gonna be such a task to pot up. Yeah, this definitely needs water, but look at how inconsistent that is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very dry on this side and it's still slightly moist on this side, but that's fine. I'm just gonna water the whole thing. Okay, this is my current watering situation. I watered all of the propagations. Check out how well these philodendron verrucosums are doing. You can see a little new growth there on a little wet stick. This is a miscellaneous, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's from the sphagnum moss, but it doesn't really look like sphagnum moss. So that's gonna be cool to see. And then we have a little fuzzy root there. So these gals are killing it. I also, in the same breath of me saying I need to get rid of some plants, I'm still doing plant trades. I recently just got this Hoya. I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'll put it on the screen. But how freaking beautiful this is. I really hope it roots for me. It did come a bit dehydrated, but I have it in pretty high humidity, so hopefully it'll be okay. And in that same trade, I also got a philodendron dragon, I think it's what it's called. I've heard the variegation comes back with a lot of light on these gals, and this one was fully rooted. I mean, it had a huge root system. You can see how big that pot is. So that was really exciting. And then the most exciting thing in that trade was this Philodendron Lemanii. Honestly, not particularly a plant that was on my wish list, but I mean, if I had the chance to get it, I'm not gonna say no. So it is currently rooting, has lots of humidity. I actually need to check it to make sure it's not rotting. I'm a little nervous. That's why I also had it in my grow tent to kind of help dry it out a bit faster. I actually am gonna check it now though. Okay, I'm really nervous. Okay, it's not bad. There is no rot, but that one tiny root that was there didn't look too great. So I just pulled it off, but you can see that's what it looks like. So it's really, it's really scary. It has a new leaf coming in. So it's super cute. Cross your fingers for me that it propagates all right. Yeah, it'd be really cool if I could grow one of these out. I traded my Hoya walk. I cut it finally, and I forgot what else I sent her. I sent her a lot of Hoya though. And then one of my Anthurium Griselle seedlings. So it was a really nice, fun trade. We kind of did like a bulk trade, and that was really cool. And I'm really excited about these. Both of these, I've low-key wanted this golden dragon for so long. I saw someone selling one on my local Facebook group probably 2 years ago. And since then, I've always wanted one, but I kind of just put it on the back burner because it wasn't like a die-hard wish list plant. But now we have one, and it's fully rooted and established, and it has a new leaf coming out. So that's really exciting. And I'm gonna put this back in the grow tent. I'm kind of like at a standstill with the grow tent because I feel like that light is just too bright, but I don't know what to put there because it is a really small grow tent, which is really good, but it's also hard to figure things out. I could maybe put one of these grow panels there instead of this big lamp. We might try that out. But that's why I don't have too many plants in there. But also, you guys, check out this like severity of neglect. I really don't let my plants get insanely dry often. It does happen on occasion, but like this was a little bit too much. So there's my Scindapsus for first, like super curled leaves. I don't let my plants ever get this thirsty because that's when we start getting all this growth that starts dying off. My Anthurium villanorum, thankfully it didn't kill off that new leaf, but these two leaves here look horrid. This Monstera got super thirsty. Almost killed off its leaves, but it didn't. I caught it in time. My pink princess got really thirsty. I'm starting to like this plant more just because the leaves are getting bigger. Like I really like that speckled pink with like little variations of pink, also like little peekaboos of pink. Yeah, this gal's growing on me. My subhistatum coming out with a new leaf finally after I tore this leaf, but it just does not look good because it's always being underwatered. Hoya Jennifer though is growing. I was shocked to see those two new leaves and this long tendril. So that's really amazing. My Philodendron Dodsonii is coming out with a new leaf finally. The old leaf finally died off and I accidentally snapped this new leaf. You can kind of see it right there. So the new leaf is not going to be perfect, but that's fine. I am so excited to see what that new leaf is going to look like because the original leaf just didn't look good from the start. And then also my Anthurium vitarifolium is putting out a new beautiful leaf. We've come full circle with that gal and I am so happy. And then I also put this rainbow privacy cover on my window here and in my bedroom in my huge bay window. And it was the best decision ever because now I get rainbows everywhere and it just makes me so happy. I'm starting to trail my Scindapsus exotica up the wall. So that's gonna be fun to just have there, although this whole situation here is a mess. So I have this area downstairs in my bedroom that needs a plant because there's just an empty plant stand there, and the way that it's set up, I feel like just one really tall plant would be really ideal. So I think I'm gonna move my Mexicanum downstairs. I'm just gonna have to tinfoil the crap out of it because I'm paranoid my cat will try to use the bathroom. which will not be great. But everything is just so cluttered here, and I don't know what else to do. I don't know how else to style them to make them more spread out because I don't have any more space. I have my exotica here. I just moved my subacinum right there, so she has all the room to grow. I mean, she's just getting these massive leaves. It's insane. You can't even see my Thamatophyllum spersianum down there or that philodendron mayoi. So I feel like once I move this Mexicanum downstairs, it'll free up some space, and then maybe I'll put my Monstera here because my Monstera is pretty short. It's in a big pot, but it's still pretty short. Hopefully that'll make things look better. I have no place for this begonia because it is just so wide, but I don't want to get rid of it because it's so pretty. So yeah, this is just the current state of everything. It's insane. It's ridiculous, I know. That is where I cut my Hoya Sarawak. So can't really even tell. She still looks amazing. And I finally trellised my Treubiana because she was so top heavy, and she has a new leaf there, and I can't tell if it's sun stressed or if it's dying, but I did slightly touch it and it didn't fall off, which would usually happen if it was dying. So I think it's just sun stressed. Oh, and then Tortum has a new leaf. How exciting is that? I'm actually really excited for that. The new king leaf is looking good, even with that tear that I gave him. He's massive, and everything is just a disaster, but it's fine. We will figure it out somehow. Oh yeah, and then my Anthurium doriaki flower was sterile. So I did hear that a lot of times when Anthuriums put out their first leaves, it'll be sterile, so there wasn't any pollen. The bumps on it that Anthurium flowers usually get were non-existent. It was just very smooth. So yeah, that's how I know that it was like that. But then I also heard somewhere that Anthurium crosses don't produce full flowers. So I do need to do some research on that. If you happen to know, let me know. But I was really disappointed because I really wanted to cross it with my Clairnervium. I mean, I don't even know if that would work, but this Clairnervium is always flowering. I don't know, maybe now this is my sign to collect pollen finally on my Clairnervium. It's just so hard collecting pollen because it's so itty bitty. I've also been doing a lot of rearranging. Also, look at how cute this is. Okay, maybe I'm a little biased, but my daughter has been making these adorable little figures. All the eyeballs fell off. That's sad. These little adorable clay figures, and I just think it's the cutest thing. This is air clay, I think, and I mean, I could never do clay like that. So I signed her up for an actual clay class, and I just love seeing it up there because it's so freaking cute. Okay. I think I've talked y'all's ears off because I've talked my ears off, and I need to clean up this disaster. I mean, I still have plants in the bathroom, in the bathtub as well. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys, I also chopped my melanochrysum. I chopped it. I just planted the bottom half in the pot. I was actually genuinely surprised at how much root growth I had on that melanochrysum. I didn't think it was climbing at all. So when I chopped it, I had to like sit there for a minute and gently tug those aerial roots out. So I was able to just stick it right back in the soil with those aerial roots that it got. And I'm really hoping it's acclimating okay. It has a lot of light, it has a lot of humidity, so it should be okay. But this was one of the top leaves that I just cut off, and I'm gonna propagate. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this leaf. I might end up just like giving it away or selling it, whatever. Yeah, that was really exciting to see. And now I'm convinced that maybe poles with aeroid soil are the best because my Amitrium is also climbing on a soil pole as well. So that's really exciting to see. Anyways, okay, that is it for the updates and the chores. Even though this was mostly an update video, I didn't really do that many chores, but water plants. My bad. I hope you all enjoyed it. Share any updates you have with me in the comments down below. I would love to hear how your jungle is doing, especially in this in-between seasons of going into cooler weather. Let me know in the comments. I would love to chat with y'all. And as always, I hope y'all are staying safe, staying happy, and healthy, and I will see you all in my next video.